Hi, my name's Tim Rice, and I have a few folks that asked me online how to set up a Elastic Stack and on a Docker Swarm environment. So I thought I'd take a few minutes and kind of show how I was able to accomplish it, and hopefully this helps you out. So just a real quick overview. This Docker Swarm is going to have a proxy across all three nodes. So there's three virtual machines. We'll just say that they're going to be physical machines, but Docker 1, Docker 2, and Docker 3. And everything's on the 192, 168, 233/24 network. So we're going to put Kibana, which is the front end of the ELK stack, on one instance in Swarm. And then we're going to have Logstash on 2, and then we're going to have Elasticsearch globally on all three of these physical nodes. I'm also going to have a load balancer, and it is going to basically do SSL offloading for me, and I'm just going to use one IP address and kind of show you how to do that in the environment. And then of course my workstation, it's just a Linux machine, and it's on IP address 192.168.233.132. Okay, so we're going to log into my machine here and just kind of show you my DNS entries here. I just basically manipulated my Etsy host file, and you see that I just created static entries, even for logstash.web-sec.net and kibana.web-sec.net, which is a domain that I own, but I'm going to trick my computer into thinking that those domains are on the VIP of 192.168.233.201, and I'm just showcasing a really nice load balancer called Zevenet. It used to be Zen Load Balancer, so it's really cool. Hope you like it. I'm also going to modify my Etsy host file, and I'm going to include es.web-sec.net. So I'll kind of showcase this load balancer as well. So I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to create another entry here called es.web-sec.net. So all three of these are going to be on this VIP IP address, ending the last octet ending with 201. So if we type in ping logstash.web-sec.net, and we'll do, let's see here, Kibana. And then we'll do ES. And they're all the same IP address. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually edit my load balancer here, my front end load balancer to add es.websec.net. I'm just going to put, let's see here. I'm just going to put one back end for the time being. It doesn't have to be anything special here, so I'm just going to copy this because I'm lazy. I'm going to call it Elasticsearch, or ES for Elasticsearch. Restart this bad boy. And then we're going to say es.websec.net. Okay. And We're just going to put this back end, same back end. Now I could put all 3 IP addresses in here if I wanted to, because I have we're going to install a Docker stack, and it's going to have 3 nodes. One of them is going to be 192.168.233.128, 129, and 130. So I could put 3 if I wanted to, but I'm just kind of showing you just really simply how this is going to work. All right, we're going to add a back end, and it's going to be 129, doesn't matter, port 80. We're going to say timeout of 300, and I'm going to call it save. Okay. All right. So that should be all set up. We'll also create a redirect real quick. Now you notice that some of the stuff doesn't work right now because we haven't even installed Docker. So I'm going to create a Docker instance, and we're going to go ahead and set up Swarm as well. So you'll get a feel of that as well. Save. So we're going to just call this es.web-sec.net, and then we want it to redirect. We want it to redirect to HTTPS. So I have Docker 1, Docker 2, and Docker 3. These are physical/virtual machines. It doesn't really matter. And this is the machines where we're going to install Docker, and we're going to set Swarm up. Okay? All right. All right. And then I know you shouldn't log in as root all the time, but I'm just going to do this real quick for ease. All right, so we're going to create a directory called Docker. Now, I highly recommend that you install Ubuntu 16.04 LTS. You put something a little bit too bleeding edge, and Docker may be wonky because usually you'll get like an alpha release, I believe, if you're using too much of a bleeding edge OS. So I recommend Ubuntu 16.04, very stable. Has good up-to-date kernel. So we're going to go to Docker on all 3 of these machines. Okay, and we are going to copy this URL, and I'll provide a link here. And then I'm going to type in git. Now, if you don't have git, just install it. Yum install git. If it's a Red Hat or CentOS or apt, install git. But I have git installed. And then I'm just going to do this right here. And since I'm lazy, I'm just going to copy it. On all 3 machines. Okay, so what I did was I created a nice little install script So you can type in bash install. I'll do this on the other one. So this is just going to install Docker. It's going to install Docker machine, Docker compose. So it's really, it's a good little script that I wrote. So it makes it all easy. Now, when we do install Docker, and when we set up this this environment, it's going to take a little bit longer initially for things to spin up because it's going to be downloading, you know, cache images to these machines. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but once all that's done, you can make changes and it'll be much quicker for you. The first thing that we want to do, we're going to make Docker 1 we're going to basically set up Swarm, and we're going to make him a leader. So I just type in Docker Swarm init, and I'm just going to run this little command on these machines here. Now typically I don't like putting IP addresses and things, so normally you wouldn't set this up. You would have put the fully qualified domain name instead of the 192.168.233.128. So these are so the Docker Swarm is initialized, and these other two nodes should be a member. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of look at this Docker node ls. So that's showing me now that the Docker 1 is the leader, and then I have these other two that's a part of everything. So now we're going to install the ELK Stack. That's Elasticsearch database, it's Logstash, and it's Kibana. But I also have on here, I set up all the beats and the XPack for you, so it should be really easy. So in order to do this, you only do this on the leader machine, which in this case is Docker 1. So I'm going to type in deploy. So I'm going to /deploy, and it's going to ask me a few questions. So what is the host name for Kibana? I'm going to say kibana.websec.net and logstash.websec.net. And then I'm just going to put the default password here. Never ever do this in production. Please never do this in production. You'll get owned real quick. But I'm just going to change this password, or set this password to change me. Okay. I type it in twice. You won't see the password echoed on the screen. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to set up Logstash in the swarmed environment. So if I wanted to, I could type in screen, and then I could say Docker service ls. What did I do? Oh. Oh, my machine's a little slow. Naturally, I'm running everything on a laptop here, but let's see what this is doing right now. So still it's thinking. Okay, so this machine is a little slow right now, but you see that it's replicated everything. So that means it has downloaded all the images and it deployed everything to these 3 nodes. So I should be able to do docker PSA. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Okay, so let me do a refresh here, and it will take a little while for things to work because it's spinning everything up and it's setting everything for you. Okay, let's see if this is ready. And it is. So the username is Elastic, and the password right here that we set was change me. Okay, let's make sure everything works. Okay, so if we go into monitoring, for example, we should see everything is green. Perfect. So in a nutshell, that is how you set ELK up using this Docker script that I wrote. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.